Aloha, Mea Ananda here, Gentle Feather Institute. Another lovely day on the big island of Hawaii. And I was just walking my little dog through the neighborhood here, and I was thinking, any other person would walk through a community and say something like, "Oh my goodness, that's where the Johnsons live, and they're expecting a baby, and there's another house, and their little boy plays soccer with mine," and things like that, just going on and either knowing the people in the homes or not, and imagining what lives are going on behind those doors. But I walk through a neighborhood and I have a different experience. And I look through, as I'm walking, I'm thinking, see that house over there? That's a house in mourning. They've just lost their father, husband of 40 years, have just buried him, and now they're coming together as family. And you see that house. That house over there is another house in mourning. They've just said goodbye to their wife, mother, sister, daughter, who has left this world, and the family again is gathering. And that house over there, that's a house where a mother just watched her only son die slowly of a terminal illness, and now is sitting in that state of deep grief and mourning. That's how I walk through a community. And I think that is really the story of grief, is that we have these homes around us and we really have no clue what goes on inside unless you know the people. And even then, right? How much sadness is in the world. How many of us are grieving. Who hasn't lost someone dear to them? And that house is rather like us, is that we attempt to go out in the world and, really keep our feelings within us. Really burying them within an attempt to go through life with this plastered, happy smile when we're feeling so shattered within. And I'll share with you, you can't hide it, can you? I mean, the feelings are so deep and so profound. When I'm working with the client, I can feel their energy before they're even in the room. There is this look of hauntedness, I call it, to those who are in deep grief. They just are lost. They're lost in this world because they have lost that energetic connection to that person who they have adored, who they've loved. Just yesterday, I called a husband whose wife I was supporting in her dying journey, and she passed over the holidays, which people do. There's no vacation from death, is there? And I know many of us out there have lost someone during the holidays, which just makes it so much bigger, doesn't it? Year after year, it doesn't shed. I understand that. So he has just lost his beloved of 40 years, and I held space for him because remember that grief needs to be witnessed. People come to me all the time and they say, "What do I say? What do I say?" And I say, less is more. Don't say anything. No one's looking to you to say something. They're just looking to be heard, looking for their pain to be witnessed. So I held space for him. I could feel he needed to talk. He needed to share. He just needed to talk about her. And he shared with me that for 40 years, this sweet woman had been his queen. He kept on calling her his queen. And that even though she wasn't here in physical form, and he was waiting for her ashes to come home, he was building a shrine for her. Because he said, and this is the thing, there's so much love that we have still for that person, isn't there? And he said, I need to give it to something. I need to continue to take care of her. So he was building the shrine. He had built a house for her. And he said, I would continue to take care of this home and take care of the things that she loved so much. I thought it was beautiful. It was really beautiful. So the reason, if that's not enough, that I'm a bit emotional at this moment is because I just had what was probably one of the most challenging moments of conversation, I should add, in my life. A client of mine who's a beautiful crone in her 90s has chosen to end her journey this morning using death with dignity. She's been suffering for some time with a terminal disease and doesn't really have an extended anything to care for herself, and this is what she's chosen. So I wanted to speak to her and hear her voice. And if you are troubled thinking of what to say at any conversation, think about this one. What do you say when you know someone is leaving the world consciously in well, moments now? It was a tough one. It was a tough one. We shared love. I said I would keep her in my hearts and my prayers, and I've lit a candle for her on my altar, and I will be just praying for her this morning, connecting to her energy until I can feel, and I will. The soul has been released, and she's shed her physical body. So join me in just lighting a candle, saying a prayer, whatever it is your custom, to this soul and all souls who have lost someone, who are sitting in grief. There are more than you know. My profound gratitude for sharing this space with me this morning and witnessing what is emotion. Too much, we bury it inside. It needs to come out and it needs to be expressed. We need to journey through grief, and that is why Gentle Feather is here to guide you gently through your journey of grief back to a purposeful, meaningful, and vital life, or life full of vitality. I like that better. So wishing you, as always, a peaceful day. Maya Ananda, Gentle Feather Institute, sending you love and aloha.